Hello guys and welcome. Oh wow, I'm loud. Hopefully that's better. Is that good? Hopefully it's not too loud. Welcome back to Serserilig. I'm very pleased to be back, of course. I'm Toby, as I'm sure a lot of you may know. And today we will be, if I can get the stream manager up and talk to you guys. Yeah, so we are at Silverstone today. What an exciting time to be alive. You're very quiet. Oh. Now? Is that better? Hopefully I'm a lot louder. Thank you for telling me though, Hashikara. Yeah. Keep the music up a little bit. There you go. Much better, thank you. Oh, of course. So, welcome back to Serserilig F1. I'm very excited to be back. As I said, today we are at Silverstone, and we're at my home Grand Prix, and I'm sure a lot of yours as well. Great Britain. So, this is so cool. And by the way, guys, we've hit the big 50 followers. What a milestone! I mean, brilliant. We also, so that 50th follower, that's Hexiv. Thank you very much for the follow. So if we take a look at Silverstone, as you can see, we are, hold on, if I just turn it down a little bit. Actually, that might be not loud enough. There, that's fine. Yeah, so as you can see, we're at Great Britain, Silverstone circuit. It has, if I'm not mistaken, 18 corners, and you've got 2 DRS zones down the not actually the main straight, but after turn 5 and before turn 6. So that is towards the beginning of the lap, as well as the back straight before turn 15, very fast corner, which you go into begin sector 3, and then you do the final chicane, and that's Silverstone. So let me give you a little few facts. So I know Silverstone was first started as a racing circuit in 1948. That was the first Silverstone Grand Prix, and Bernie Eccleston himself was there as well. You know, the ex-boss of the FIA. Actually, it might have been F1. I'm not sure, but yeah. And anyway, then they started Formula 1 in 1950, with the first race being here at Silverstone. It's actually on a World War II airfield, and it attracted 100,000 spectators originally. And it's actually one of the only 4 Grand Prix from the first year of the World Championship to remain a part of today's calendar. Monaco, Spa and Monza up there as well. And since then, only Silverstone and Spa have been there for every single season. It's changed a lot over the years though, mainly for more speed and safety, because back then it was pretty much just a circle. But now it's a lot more interesting. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Ashikara. Yeah, so, excuse me. Yeah, so, it's currently got a contract until 2027, so we'll have it for at least another 5 years. So it is, very good circuit for racing. Always good to see some on-track battles. Obviously it's a classic in Formula 1. We could never get rid of it, I hope. And, it's just, today should be very interesting. I remember my Silverstone race when I was in Serserilig. It was awful. I was knocked to the back of the grid after a lap 1 incident. And that was that. So, let's see. Last year, who could forget? Silverstone was very hectic, with Verstappen getting a bit of a crash from Lewis Hamilton. 51 Gs. Very strong. Very similar to Lewis Hamilton's recent crash of 46 Gs into the ground from Fernando Alonso. And, he obviously both are fine now. He got a 10-second time penalty, Lewis Hamilton, and then went on to win the race. So, there you go. And, so it's obviously got a lot of iconic moments here at Silverstone. The person with the most wins here is actually homeboy Lewis Hamilton, with 8 wins here. And I believe he's competed 15 times. I remember the first time he raced here, he actually won from the 4th place, and he overtook all 3 cars in the first corner. And I believe it might have been raining later on in the race, and he went on to win, and it was a very, very good race. Obviously, his first win was at Canada, but, you know, this one will always be a special of his first wins. Hello, friend. Welcome, James. Nice to see you here. Just talking a little bit about Lewis Hamilton. You know, we're at Silverstone today, obviously. We've not got many people actually in the session at the moment, so we are just waiting a little bit. Now, real quick, the problem last time with a really bad connection and the fact that it had to be uploaded on the VOD channel in 4 separate parts because it kept on cutting out, is actually because of crossplay, unfortunately. So I'm hoping we get that fixed. It says that crossplay is disabled in this lobby, so hopefully we'll have a much better connection. I know other leagues haven't had this problem, but you know, we've got to do whatever we can to maintain the league. Why don't we take a look at the standings? So as you can see in the standings, McLaren have extended their lead since last time after MKL won, and he's also taken P2 of the championship ahead of CB. So really good days for McLaren last time. Zakus as well scoring highly, I believe. Closely followed by Vlad Red though, so he's still kept valid points, and Williams has fallen back 175 points. Not 175 points, but they are at 175 points. It's unlikely they're going to be taken by Ferrari yet, but they can still get another grasp on McLaren. He's still in their clutches. Zakus, I know, is definitely joining us today, so I'm hoping Muffin Man's here to cheer on Zakus. I know they're very fond of them. Enigma, who had a lot of supporters last time, is not racing with us anymore, which is very upsetting, and nor is his teammate, Yeet. So Aston Martin have gone ahead and dumped both drivers. Very, very strange turn of events here in the mid-season. Excuse me. I had a bit of an alarm. Yeah, so anyway, as you can see, let's just do a real quick run through. McLaren are at 193 points, Williams at 175, Ferrari at 130, and Alfa Romeo at 107. Closely followed by 1 point to Red Bull, 106. Then quite a little while back is Haas at 81 with them racing. I don't know who is racing this time, but then it's AlphaTauri at 43. Mercedes are 5 points ahead of Aston Martin at 29, and Aston Martin, as I said, 24. Alpine only have 6 points, but you know, I'm sure they could very easily get up and get out of the last place spot. However, obviously we need to wait until the end of the season finale in Abu Dhabi. But next race will be Brazil and then Abu Dhabi. But we do have actually a sprint in Brazil, so make sure you don't miss that next time. As I say, Silverstone is a classic, so you really want to share with all your friends. For those of you on YouTube watching this now from the VOD, please subscribe and like the video, turn on that notifications bell. You don't want to miss any of the races. That's the whole purpose of the VOD channel. If you're watching, I know you're going to want to watch some of the races, so just make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, and even you guys here in the chat, it would be really great if you did that for us. Hello everyone, welcome to Muffin Man. So Zaki's primary supporter. But yeah, so as I was just saying, make sure you check out in the bio of the Twitch channel. You check out our website and our Discord. The website Fuelvine is actually getting an update from Mesa, who's developed it and is also one of our race commissioners and the only race commissioner who will be joining us today. So maybe it will be difficult for Ferrari to get up there. Just real quick reminder of penalty points. Let's see who's got the most. It looks like Enigma had the most, but now he's obviously not in the league anymore. So now it's going to be MKL in the lead with the most penalty points, as well as Chinix, Zhao Jr., Cortez and Zakus, although I believe some of them have left the league, so I might be wrong there. Now if I really quickly just turn off the music, and we're now going to head into the race. So excuse the black screen for a moment there. But yeah, just check out our Discord and our YouTube. Obviously here's our Twitch. Yeah, but here we are. There's only 6 people in qualifying. Hopefully there are more for the race. I don't know what's going on. Vlad Red's not here, so this will be really interesting as an opportunity for CB and Zakus as well. I'm sure Mesa will definitely score some vital points for Ferrari. This is the six person race, like when there was in 2005, 2004. One of those times. I'm sure it is. When no, it's probably 2003 or something. That's actually mad. Yeah, we usually have a lot more people. Come on, guys, back me up. There are more people viewing this than people actually racing. Which is actually unusual for this league, at least. Let me try and get some people in here. Music's actually banging, though. Someone's just private messaged me from the for the stream. The music's banging. Thank you very much. Wait, real quick. Serserilig F1. I'm on the Discord. Feel free to go on there, guys. Come on, guys. More people in the race. Silverstone. Vital points. Alright, I've done what I can. My game crashed. Dugster. I'm sure you can join us very, very soon for the race. Oh wow. Even Ashkar has now joined the Discord to do the same thing. Yeah, so Dugster is in the Alpine, I believe. Yes, that looks about right. And here we have Mesa coming on their outlap, as it's, I forgot to mention, raining here. Full wet conditions around Silverstone. Crazy Benny in the AlphaTauri there as well. Oh, this is going to be very interesting because I don't remember any Silverstone wet race other than that Lewis Hamilton one I just told you about. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna have the detail of the tyre wear. So we're gonna see if people will be using any other tyres than the wets. I doubt it, but we might, you know, start getting an idea. We're gonna take a look at the lap data, see when they're sitting good sectors, bad sectors, best sectors, worst sectors. Track map, we're gonna be looking down there, as you can see, and that'll be all for now. Let's see who else. Daniel Ricciardo is apparently joining us, which I very much doubt. I think that's probably going to be the other Alfa Romeo other than Chris here. I think that's Lucha Rutra. There is a Daniel Ricciardo in here. A bit confusing there. But oh, it looks like Chrisu has started their lap. Let's take a look at what they're doing in the wets. Obviously very slippery, so they're going to have to go very carefully. Yeah, much more different than what we're normally used to. But anyway, onto the not main straight, but you know, I think this might be the Hamilton straight. I need to do my research around here. You know, I live in this country. But yeah, round this bend they go, setting the purple sector, and now into the exact opposite wide hairpin. Now they're going to go onto the old pit straight, which is where we used to start the races here. I say we. This is also, I believe, where the old F1 used to begin as well. But again, well, I need to do my fact checks. Anyway, nearly exceeding track limits there, pushing the car to the limits already. Chrisu, let's see what they're doing here. Into Maggots and Beckett's, and then now that one. I think it's Village or Stowe or something. I know the names of them. I just don't know which one's which. But yeah, now set another purple sector 2. Although I believe Mesa has set a purple sector 1. If I just check, I could be wrong. Oh, Mesa's invalidated. There you go then. Sorry, we're looking at Chrisu, aren't we? Yeah, there they are. They're coming into the final chicane now. They're going to take as much curb as they dare, which is very little. They're just trying to kiss that apex. Now through the final corner, trying to get as good of a launch as they can. They're going to set the fastest lap so far, 1:42.3, much off the pace of what we're normally used to in a dry, of course. Let's take a look. CB is done there, and I believe Mesa will be starting their laps very soon. So let's take a look at Mesa. Let's watch Mesa's lap. So as you can see, wet conditions. I believe Damien will be joining us as well. I just got a notification there. Oh, and Mesa's invalidated again, unfortunately. You really need to make sure you obviously get in your laps while you can. Lucha Rutra has now joined us instead of Daniel Ricciardo. Let's take a look at his or her lap. I'm not quite sure. Their lap, I'll say, of course. Oh, not a great exit there. I think they're going to try and start a new lap on these fresh wet tyres. Now they're going to try and get the best exit they possibly can. Let's take a look. So anyway, into the first, onto the main straight, sorry. They get a alright exit, set at 1:44.9, obviously not the best thing they can do. But into the first corner, take a little bit of curve, go wide though, and they're going to have to rejoin the track. They probably lost some time, but they haven't invalidated. What better time to set a fast lap than now though. So anyway, into the next corner, drifting a little bit round because it's so slippery. They are now going to go on to the next straight. lagging out a little bit as well, as much as they wish. Yeah, number 92, Lucha. Apparently, harvesting a lot of energy, because that's what the rain causes you to do. Lovely onboard shot there, or we did temporarily get. Now onto the hairpin. They're going to go a little bit wide on the entry, which is good for a good launch, which you will be needing in the wets. Although they seem to be struggling a bit with getting the car turned, so maybe they need to make some adjustments to their setup. But anyway, now into Cop's Corner, one of the most famous corners on this circuit. And now they shall be entering Maggots and Beckett's, which is probably the most difficult part of the track in the wets, although maybe the chicane could contend for that as well. So let's get a beautiful shot here. Oh yeah, lovely. Taking that very well, actually. Taking a very decent amount of curb, getting the best possible exits. All a little bit of oversteer there, but nothing to worry about. Yeah, so now onto the back straight they're going, and they're going to go through the high-speed corner. Right-hander. By the way, Silverstone is a clockwise circuit, if I haven't mentioned already. There are only 7 anti-clockwise circuits on the calendar, I believe. And now into the final chicane, they're going to come out, and let's see what kind of a time they can set. It's going to be from a 1:44.9 to, in competition with their teammate, a 1:43.6. So they do need to do a little bit of improvement there, but it's a good baseline lap, and they were controlled by the AI for a little bit, so bear that in mind. But at the moment, Chrisu holds provisional pole. A 1:42.3, closely followed by CB's 1:42.4 now. He just improved there. Only 1/10 off. Zakus is a 1:42.5, so he's not far off either. Just increasing 1/10 increments, although Crazy Benny 3/10 off of Zakus. That's 5/10 off of pole position. And yeah, 7/10 off of Mesa is Lucha. So if we take a look now, there was a yellow flag in Sector 2. There's Chrisu. I believe they're finishing another lap. Let's see if they're able to improve. Real quickly, round the final bend. And there they are, a 1:42.1, improving on their best time. They seem to be the best wet weather driver out there for the moment. But now we do need to measure their racecraft, so we will be seeing that after qualifying in the actual Grand Prix. Now, CB is coming round. He seems to not be improving on this lap. So if we take a look at Crazy Benny, there he is into Maggots and Beckett's. Taking a little bit of curb, but braking a little bit too much. Trying to take it as well as he can. Bit of a difficult task though. So anyway, now for the AlphaTauri, he is going to get an okay exit onto the back straight, but does set a purple sector too. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. And so he's currently gone 2/10 quicker. All he needs is another 5/10, and he's up into pole. Oh, and he's spun off very Max Verstappen-esque 2022. So he is going to have to come into the pit lane. No point in finishing that lap. Lucha though, they're going to come round and they're going to go 1/10 off their fastest time. So they're going to need to come back in, set some faster laps. Bob's your uncle, pole position. So I'm afraid... Alright, so it is a lot slower for qualifying at the moment. However, it will make things much more interesting. I wonder if there's going to be a wet race. Can any of you drivers tell me if there's a wet race? Because I can't actually see that as a spectator. But it does make things more interesting for us as well. Yeah, so as you can see, Lucha, 3-lap-old wets, and Chrisu also on 3-lap-old wets. Yeah, not enjoying that. So they're probably going to come in. Yes, they are. And it looks like Mesa reckons it's time for intermediates. Now, this could very well be the case, although it's still looking like there is a lot of standing water on track. I reckon Lucha ought to come in now, especially if we are going to be starting to need wets. But Mesa has gone for the early gamble. Let's see what they can do, as now Lucha is that? No, that's Chrisu who's coming into the pits. There we go. Lucha is still out. The only driver out on track at the moment into Maggots and Beckett's. I wonder if they're setting better times. Now, will they set a better sector? As they're heading out of Sector 2, we're going to see how good of an exit they get. That's a really decent exit. They're 2.5 off, so I reckon they do need to come back in now. They're not going to improve on their time. And possibly go on to Winters. Yep, CB's also agreed. And looks like they're not going to come out just yet, but they are getting ready. So maybe they're just waiting for those final few moments of wet conditions so they can warm up and get those inters ready. Great stuff so far. We've got 7 drivers. Oh, Chrisu's gone on to the inters as well. Now it's going to be really interesting to see who is able to beat pole position, because obviously everyone will beat it, but will Chrisu maintain their pole? Maybe it's purely something for standing water. Maybe they're really good at both at any kind of rain. Maybe CB has an advantage here. Who knows? We're just taking a look, and it looks like Mesa is going to go out on inters. They struggled to set a valid lap a few times there. But as you can see, warming up the tyres a little bit. Struggling a little bit for grip. Trying to just get around those corners. The stream is focused off centre, by the way. It's around 2/3 of the stream. My stream does that sometimes. Let me just fix that up. Yes, you are correct. Thank you for pointing that out to me. That happens much more often than you think. Yeah, so if I'm just going to fix that there. Job done. Alright, that should be a lot better for all of you. Oh, thank God you have told me. Yep, so Chrissy currently holds a 142.1. Let's see what Mesa can do on their outlap. Thank you for telling me, James. That's better. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And it looks like there's not much chat delay either. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, let's see now round those lovely few swinging turns, Maggots and Beckett's, etc. It looks like Crazy Benny is going to start their outlap first, but I want to see Mesa because they have not actually set a fast lap in front of us yet. So we're just going to watch from the outside. As you can see, it is still chucking it down. So, yeah, it is still chucking it down. But we're going to see if the inters will be faster. And now Mesa is going to come around to start their first inters lap. Hopefully getting a very Carlos Sainz-esque pole position and hopefully leads it to win. But anyway, now, down the main straight, they're going into turn 1, takes a lot of curve, very good stuff, and just about keeping it within the track limits, very much a great thing there. You're going to use up all the track, clearly going faster than the wets. Let's see what they can do. Now taking a slightly tight entry there, trying to maximise the entry into the corner rather than the exit, which I slightly disagree with, because obviously you're going onto the straight, but they do still get a pretty good exit. And now onto the straight there, they're going to go, and I'm just monitoring the connection. Apparently we've dropped not a single frame, and it's been running at 60 frames per second this whole time, so that seems great. I'm hoping that it is true. But yeah, sorry, Mesa now round into Sector 2. They're going to go down the old pit straight, taking as much of the track as they dare. They're not going to quite take the tightest line because they want to maximise their acceleration and not change it there, change their steering. And now, oh, Mesa's gone off. They haven't invalidated though. Really good stuff there. So that's probably the only mistake you can afford to make here. And they've actually made another mistake. Mesa has invalidated round Maggots. Very unfortunate incident there. But now we're going to take a look at Crazy Benny, who started his lap before Mesa. He's still on the wets. He reckons these are the faster tyres. But now into the next part of the track, he's going to go into the chicane. Let's see what kind of a time he can do. He's now going to come around the final corner, taking a lot of curb there, and he's going to get a bit of a slipstream maybe from the Red Bull, the sister team. So you know, like sister. And he says the fastest time on wet, 1:41.5. Maybe that's just because it's drying up a little bit. Who knows? But let's see what CB can do, as they, as we just saw, went a little bit faster on the inters ahead of Crazy Benny. Maybe it is a bit slippery though. Definitely Mesa showing some potential, but they are going to have to set a valid lap first. And they've decided to come to the pits. Maybe they don't think it's time for wets yet. So who knows? Who knows? But now down into this turn here, they're going to be 1.5 seconds off their time. So it looks like it is time for wets. And look, even losing it a bit. And Crazy Benny has invalidated this one. Let's take a look at Zaku's, one of our fan favourites, who's come into the pits. Okay, great. Lucha Rutra's decided to come out on inters. They've been fooled by Mesa, who decided to do that. Go out on for 2 laps, sorry, being really committed, and then coming back in ready for the wets now, again. So it looks like Lucha Rutra probably won't be setting another fast lap. On the inters at least, but they are going to need to set a fast lap at all, and they don't have long before they can do it. They're going to need to come in very soon and onto the wets, so they are going to need to really hurry themselves up. I doubt they're going to be able to make it, but let's see, will Mesa be able to get out now on time? I'm sure they will be able to. Chris, who's actually going on their outlap, maybe wants to do 2 laps. Don't think they'll have time for that, but they're going for a very safe strategy, let's just say. Mesa for pole, yes. Very good idea. This is the one time I've forgotten to ask you guys who you think is going to get pole position. I'm going to give you a few options here. Crazy Benny has currently set the fastest time on wets, so there's always a possibility of that. He's 6 tenths ahead. There's a bit of a yellow flag somewhere as well. Yep, there. That's where it is. And now Crazy Benny's invalidated. So let's see if he can start another time. Ooh, he's not going to have time to come back in. So it looks like Crazy Benny set his lap. So do you think Crazy Benny's going to lose his provisional pole or not? Well, Mesa and Chrisu are definitely challengers for it. They're out on the wets as well now. People on the Inters, I'm not going to say they have a chance at pole. But who knows? Who knows? It could really dry up. Mesa, pole or Zakus? Okay, this is a very interesting strategy here. What you're going for. You're citing multiple drivers. And it looks like the Alfa Romeo is passing each other on the straight. On the chicane. And yeah, so Chrisu is now going to start their wet lap. Let's see what they can do. So, down onto the main straight, we are going to see them go into turn 1. Let's see how much curb they dare to take. They take quite a lot. Are they going to stay within track limits? Yes, they are. Taking as much curb as they really want to, so obviously feeling much more confident than earlier. As CB retires from the session. Wow, very interesting turn of events there. So they're not going to be able to set pole. But Chrisu is going to be rejoicing about this. He's going to say, yes, thanks, I will be taking that pole. So let's see, as they come around this turn here onto the main... not the main straight, sorry. It's a different straight. It's the middle straight. Let's call it the landing strip, because it's an airfield. But anyway, sorry. Now, into this next corner, because I can't name Formula 1 corners. He's going to take the hairpin rather openly. I mean, is it technically a hairpin? I know it's a very wide bend. Let's call it a bend. But anyway, now taking a very tight line to try and ensure a good entry, but also he maximises his exit from that as well. So now Lucha into Cop's corner is going to take as much curb as he does. Very much on the edge there. He's definitely using up all of the track. And taking a lot of curb here at Maggots and Beckett's. Or having to slow down a little bit more than they wanted to there. But they're still going to get a pretty good exit here onto the back straight. There you go. I could have taken control of my vehicle. Can't get a lap. Dougster. That's really really unfortunate there. But anyway, now into one of the final corners before the chicane. Oh, nearly drifting there. Really on the edge with the car. Let's see what kind of a time they're going to set. And they're going to come round the final chicane onto the main straight. Let's see what kind of a time they're going to be able to do. As Crazy Benny sets a 1:41.4 on these worn wets against all odds. Chrisu is going to set, a 1:41.8 still. Not his best time. Oh, he looked very fast out there, but Crazy Benny currently holds provisional pole. And I don't think he's going to be able to set another time. He's going to try, but Mesa, they're not done either. This is their one and only chance, and they're going 6 tenths faster at the moment. They just need to make up another second. Another 9 tenths if they want to get pole. So it might be difficult here, but let's see if they can get onto the front row at least. I'm sure Mesa definitely can. Into now the final chicane. Are they going to be able to do it on these fresh, wet tyres? I reckon they are. I reckon second place, as Crazy Benny's probably going to take his first pole position. And yes, Mesa's going to take second place. And that, everyone, is our go for qualifying. Dogster was unable to set a lap. Crazy Benny does not need to do a lap, and therefore he invalidates. So yeah, that's qualifying, everyone. Well done for sticking with us. Definitely not the most interesting qualifying we've had, but you know what? The race is what matters, and as Muffin Man currently is saying correctly, can't wait for the race. And you're not alone there. Dougster there racing for Brazil. I've never noticed that. Very cool there. I am also a little bit Brazilian. Lucha is now in. So it's Lucha in 6th place. I've got sort of at 6th place and 3rd place for Alfa Romeo. It looks like the only team with both drivers there. CB Unusual is Red Bull, the championship 2nd place contender. Let's see if he can maximise his points on Vlad Red. Unless they DNF. Everyone getting points, you are right. Zakus there in the midfield. Let's see what he can do today. I'm sure he can definitely make a better result. I remember he had a really good Silverstone race last time. And in the current podium places, we have Chrisu, Mesa and Crazy Benny on pole. I want to see Crazy Benny win. Do you remember what I said last race? I want Crazy Benny to prove himself a brilliant driver. Watch me not get points. Dougster, you are going to get points, mate. I'm sure you will. Come on. You will. It'll be good. Yeah, exactly, guys. Cheer the drivers on. Yeah, so anyway. Now we're going to go into the race, and we are going to go see the formation lap. I wonder if it's going to be raining. It looks dry. And I'm hoping it's not going to race later in the session. Wink, wink. Yeah, just another reminder, guys. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitch, of course. And remember to like and turn the notification bell on to get updates whenever we upload the race VODs, because you don't want to miss any of the races, especially if you're subscribed to the race VOD channel. You know, no point being subscribed unless you're going to turn on the notifications bell. But anyway, we're now in Silverstone. Oh yeah, check out Fuel Vine. I forgot to say, there's an addition coming where you can actually see the telemetry. Mesa is adding the telemetry to Fuel Vine. And this is going to be a really cool feature, and it should be ready for Season 4, in which I will be commentating every race. And here we're going to have the formation lap. Yeah, thank you, James, for that very useful response. I'm not sure what you're quite referring to there. But yeah, Crazy Benny on pole. Now, it will be really interesting to see how he deals with this. It's an AlphaTauri ahead of a Red Bull. Obviously, this sister team relationship is not going to exist in the F1 esports world. However, he is... Oh, I've accidentally tabbed out. Excuse me. So he is closely followed by Mesa, who has proven to be a very consistent driver for Ferrari. Now, Stenz isn't here today. He's unable to make it. So this will be Ferrari's only driver to try and get them closer to second place in the championship. They're currently third. Don't worry, Ferrari is used to being third in the championship. Haha, got them. And they might actually in real life be soon in third, because Mercedes have a much better strategy than them. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting very technical here. So anyway, if we take a look at the position change from the beginning of the race, we'll see. We're going to take a look at the telemetry. Actually, no, we won't just yet, but we will eventually. We're not going to take a look at lap data. There you go. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, so 9 viewers. Welcome, all of you. So yeah, Mesa is very close to Crazy Benny. I think they're the biggest 2 people to win. Although I don't doubt Zakus could definitely do a Lewis Hamilton in 2007 and overtake all of them in the McLaren to take, I nearly said pole there, first place. So now we're going to finish up the formation lap. Hopefully those tyres are all warmed up. Crazy Benny is on the mediums. Mesa is on the softs. Chris on the mediums. Zakus on the mediums. CB on the mediums. Luke on the mediums. And Dougster on the mediums. So it looks like Mesa is the only person on softs today. They're going for a much more aggressive strategy than everyone else. But the predicted stop strategy is mediums and a 1 stop onto hards about halfway through the race. Although Mesa's going for a 2 stop. Far more aggressive, though it might work. Who knows? So anyway, guys, we're going to now line up here. Mesa there, Chrisu. Let's take a look at 7th place. There we go. We're going to take a look at Mesa's perspective, or something like that. There. So it's going to be 5 red lights, and away we go. So Crazy Benny gets a good launch, but Mesa gets a very good launch, and it's going to take first place. Right into the first corner. Brilliant exit there for Mesa. But Crazy Benny's going to keep as close behind as they can. And it looks like Lucha has fallen behind just a little bit. And they're going to have to keep very close to the Alpine and the Red Bull of CB. So far, very clean start. Zakus has kept very much up with the top 3. Definitely looking for a podium today, Zakus. I'm very much sure of it. Go, Zach, go. Of course. That's what we want to see. And now Crazy Benny is starting to fall out of the DRS, out of Mesa. But he's trying to make a comeback. Let's see what he can do. Obviously, DRS is not enabled for another 2 laps. So let's see what's being done. CB, though, very, very close to the Alpine. Maybe going to be able to get them on the straight. Let's see what they can do. As now they're going to get a very good exit, trying to get as much acceleration as possible. Zaku's very close to the Alfa Romeo there, and the Alfa Romeo of Lucha very close to CB there. Now into Cops, let's see what happens at Maggots and Beckett's. Crazy Benny in 2nd place. Let's see if he can catch up at all to Mesa, as we can see there. The big collection of Formula 1 cars all sweeping around the legendary corners. Now, the AlphaTauri is still not within the DRS, but is probably using up as much ERS as possible to try and get up there. Let's take a look at the telemetry. Yeah, they're not going to use ERS just yet. Maybe he's going for the saving game. But Mesa as well, definitely very much a lot of ERS. It looks like no one's out of anyone's DRS yet. So Mesa is really at a disadvantage here. But they were able to take first place. Although now they've pulled 1.1 seconds. Probably going to try and maximise their exits out here. Setting the fastest lap of 1:35.1 for the first lap of the Grand Prix. Let's take a look at Zakus though. Zakus is very close to Chrisu. And goes a bit wide there, but he managed to save it. And in 8th gear, he's now going to try and get a good exit onto turn 3. I'm trying to do my maths there. Yeah, so using as much ERS as he can to try and get a good acceleration. And there he goes, getting in the slipstream of Chris, who's going to try and get a podium place. Is he going to send one down the inside? Not just yet, he's not. But let's see some ambitious moves today. I definitely want to see that. And now CB is going to try and go around the outside of the Alpine. No, he can't just yet. But Lucha is very close to him. It's a three-way battle for P5, everyone. And there he is, using all the ERS he can. And he's going to pull to the side to... Ooh, he takes a peek, but he can't just get it. But into Cops, he's going to go pretty wide. Ooh, no, he doesn't, sorry. It's just that he nearly had to. But into Maggots and Beckett's, the most unusual place to see overtakes. CB gets up into P5, and it's a brilliant move. Wow. Who expected that, guys? Come on. And now there's a yellow flag. It looks like Dougster has had a little bit of a spin. Maybe he was being fought too hard. Hopefully no safety cars just yet. CB, though, is 2.2 seconds behind from that battle. And it looks like Mesa has spun from the lead, or he's gone wide. So now his chances at the win have gone down a bit. He's going to have to do a recovery drive. Crazy Benny back into the lead, but he's got DRS with Chrissy behind and Zaku's behind him. So it looks like Crazy Benny's going to have to really pull a gap to enable the fact that he won't be able to be caught back by Mesa. So that will be his plan for today. But now he's back in the lead, so you know, there's no point trying to go for the lead if you can't maintain it. And he does set the fastest lap, although I believe Chrissy beat it. And now Dougster does have a penalty for track limits. Unfortunately, Mesa is going to have to try and catch back up to get into the DRS of Lucha. But if we take a look at Zaku's, they're very close still to Chrisu. So it looks like a very close battle for the podium places. And he's going to be very happy with this. 8 viewers. Brilliant, guys. So yeah, taking a pretty tight line there. He's going to try and get a good exit onto the back straight. Now into Cops. He's not going to take much curb at all. But he does get it just right. Very perfect way of taking it. And now using ERS very ambitiously into Maggots and Beckett's. There he is. I wonder if there's anyone behind him. Let's just take a real quick look. Only in the far distance, CB is lurking. And now he gets DRS onto this back straight, because I don't know which straight is which. And he's going to use as much ERS as he can, even going to 0% to try and catch up. And he's within 7/10 now. So let's see if he can get even closer and take over P2. So Chrisu now much closer, and these three are very much bunched up. I'd argue Zaku's could do a bit of a through goes Hamilton moment and even get up into P1, as now there's more yellow flags in Sector 3. Is that Dougster? That may be. Oh, it looks like it's Mesa again. Oh, what's going on for the Ferrari there? They could have gotten a solid win, and they're really struggling. Maybe they don't like the handling model or the setup, but it looks like Chrisu has already used up all of their ERS. So it looks like Crazy Benny here playing the smart game, waiting for these two clowns to drown their ERS. Sorry, drain it. And look, both of them missing it, and they're going to battle amongst each other. So now, maybe Zakus is going to go for a move down here. Not quite yet, but he is going to be in the slipstream for the next straight. Let's see what he can do. Because now, although he's going to have a bit of dirty air, he's very cleverly demonstrating. Best driver ever in my heart. Yeah, I know. I want to see him get this podium, though, first. Let's see, he takes a very wide, a very mediocre line. When you say Hamilton move, do you mean hurt Chrisu in the rear right wheel? Now, you, Muffin Man, are a very funny person. I'm not going to say anything about this because I must remain neutral as a commentator, although I do support Hamilton, so we're not going to talk about that. Also, have some sympathy, mate. 7-time world champion, okay? So, anyway, yeah, so as you can see, Crazy Benny's plan here has worked like a charm. Chrisu and Zakus have really gone backwards from him, and it looks like Zakus is very close and battling with Chrisu, putting the pressure very hard. Yeah, exactly, you can't even spell right, you're correcting yourself. Sorry, I'm joking. Yeah, so anyway, now onto the main straight. Again, Zakus is going to have DRS, not now, but in 3 or 4 corners time, and he's even using the ERS to try and catch up as much as he can. Definitely going very fast though, 420 thousandths of a second off of Chrisu now, and he's catching up even more. There you go, Zaku's now got some much better entry there than Chrisu, keeping it as clean as a whistle. Zach for the win. Come on, James, we've got another supporter for Zaku's, and now with DRS down this straight, the front straight I'm going to call it from now on, and as you can see, Chrisu's still harvesting energy, Now, it looks like, though, they're not quite dropping back from Crazy Benny, as Zaku sets a purple sector 1. So now, onto this straight, he's going to have to get into the slipstream, use up as much ERS as he can, and it looks like he is making a very much use out of it. But now, into Cops, let's see what he can do. Hopefully no dirty air, there we go. Probably experienced about 4 Gs there, something like that. But now, into Maggots and Beckett's, he's going to be, as I said, very ambitious, taking lots of curb, nearly probably exceeding track limits. Let's see what he can do, though. He's going to get DRS, taking so much curb there. He's really almost cutting the corners. He's desperate for P2. Every vital point for McLaren to maintain their lead in the Constructors. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, that's the spirit. Of course it is. Zakus is demonstrating the British spirit here tonight. I'm not sure if he is British. However, there he goes into the chicane. He's dropped back a little bit from Chrisu, but I'm sure he can still make it into P2, driving his heart out there. And it looks like Chrisu is starting to catch back up to Crazy Benny. Crazy Benny really needs to start making a better move, as he's now taking purple sectors still, but he needs to maintain it. There he is, you know. You can see in the background, there's the Alfa Romeo getting even closer and even closer. But bear in mind, Zakus is still keeping within this DRS. He's very British. Well, let's hope we can see a home winner today, because wouldn't that be cool? And now, getting DRS on the front straight, behind the Alfa Romeo of Chrisu, who's been a very, very good driver this race, by the way, not one mistake. As Zakus is trying to catch up to them. He makes up about 3/10 in that corner alone. Wow, must be a higher downforce setup. But now onto the main straight. Let's see if he can get a good exit. Oh, it's much better than Chrisu's, and he's going to catch up as much as he can. Oh, yes, you can definitely see getting bigger in the view into Cops is Chrisu, right ahead of Zakus, sorry. And let's see, into Maggots and Beckett's, what can he do? He's just trying to make up as much time as he can, taking lots of curb. Oh, yeah, definitely some very good cornering there. Although, let's take a real quick look at another battle with an Alfa Romeo. Lucha very, very close, nose to tail with CB, and he's going to go for a move down the back straight, and he's going to take P4 from him, and Zakus is still in P3, and it looks like he's going to get right back into the racing line in the braking zone, and keeps P4. But maybe CB is going to have something to say about that, as now he's going to try and keep within DRS, still within 4/10, dropping back a little bit. Now half a second away. Let's see if he can get a good exit here and try and make another overtake, maybe into turn 1. Lucha now setting the fastest lap, getting DRS on that straight. And it looks like into turn 1, they're going to be very close to each other though. It looks like still under half a second separates them. If we look at his POV, as now Lucha goes very wide into turn 2. And again, CB trying to make the most of that textbook racing. And he's going to try and get the switchback, and it almost looks like it's going to work. And he's going to get DRS now on Lucha. Is it going to work? It looks like it's not very effective down here in Silverstone. And he's going to go a bit wide himself into the next corner. Although, let's see what kind of an exit he can get onto the straight, because clearly he's going to need that most. That's his weakness against Lucha at the moment. Zaku's now getting very close to Chrissy. We're going to take a look at him in just a sec. As CB is currently one of the closer battles. Now into Cobb's corner. It looks like he's going to try and catch up. Oh, look how much time he just made up there. Looks like about a 10th or something. Brilliant stuff. Now, going on the sausage curbs quite a lot there. Oh, and he's going to brake a bit too much and not get a brilliant exit onto the main straight. Let's see what he can do. Oh, yeah, definitely making the most out of using the whole track there. And he's going to get an okay exit in the slipstream using DRS and even a bit of ERS to sprinkle it in there. Oh, he's definitely going to be able to make a move very soon. Let's take a look, though, at some other people who are not involved in battles just yet. Let's take a look at Mesa and Dogstar, though, as Crazy Benny now sets the fastest lap. Mesa had some interesting incidents there, spinning out or going wide. Looks like really struggling to get to grips with the circuit. Dogstar as well, as I've already mentioned in the Alpine, in P6. Really not enjoying their time, but still maintaining P6. That's, 8 points? Solid, you know, important stuff for Alpine. But now if we take a look at Zakus, he's on the front straight, right behind Lucha. It looks like it's an Alfa Romeo sandwich. And he's going to try and get ahead of this P2, because he needs to get back into it. And it looks like Chrisu is going to get a really wide entry, and he's going to get through on Chrisu for P2 into Cop's corner. Brilliant stuff there from Zakus. The crowd goes wild as we get our 10th viewer gone downhill for Mesa, indeed it has. But now into Maggots and Beckett's, he's going to use up as much DRS as he can to try and separate himself from Chrisu. Chrisu, though, very close behind. He's thinking, oh, I'm not just going to let this P2 up. I'm going to definitely try and get back up in there. And look, he's going to get a really good exit, gets DRS. Now with the slipstream, really much a straight line setup. And he's going to come back at Zakus on the back straight. But Zakus is fighting for his life there. As now it looks like CB still very close to Lucha. But Alfa Romeo's here, looking very strong. Zakus, though, he's not done. He's going to try and get a best exit he can. Oh, Chrisu does not want to let this P2 up. So here he goes. Now onto the main straight. And Zakus is going to try and get back ahead. But it's looking really difficult for the McLaren here. And he gets a 3-second time penalty for going and taking a bit too much curb on turn one too many times. Who would expect no penalties, though? As you can see, the majority of drivers here do have penalties. So it looks like at the moment, Chrisu is actually now catching up for the lead. And now onto the main front straight. It looks like Zakus is going to pretty much just throw himself down the straight to try and get back ahead. And he takes the corner beautifully, taking into account dirty air. And look, he's keeping directly behind him like a shadow. Oh, it's beautiful stuff here. And he gets an amazing exit. Now, making the exact same move again, saying, no, I don't think you heard me. Now into Cops, though, Chrissy remembers, and he's going, oh, I think I bloody well did. And now, into Maggots and Beckett's, Chrissy remains in the lead, trying to maintain this, but Zaku's very close still. Oh, very, very good battles here between the podium sitters. Brilliant stuff here, and CB's fallen back from Lucha, and he's not able to maintain DRS position. He can go back up, you're damn right he can. Still within 6/10, he's going powering down the back straight. He's going to be able to take P2 down the main straight, I believe. So let's see if he can make up some time in the chicane. What can he do, as he's now about half a second behind. Excuse me, drinking some water. And he's got a very stable setup here. And you can even still see Crazy Benny in the front of the race. Whew. But yeah, now into turn 2 and turn 3 here. We're going to see him try and go for a move, try and catch up as much as he can. He's now falling out of the DRS of Chrisu. Is he going to be able to get back? Chrisu's realised that as long as he's still in the DRS, he can get back at him. And he's not going to have the DRS down the main straight. As you can see, that rear wing is not open. Oh, yes, it is. He was able to steal it at the last moment. 9/10 behind. And he's now going to head into this very strong Sector 2 for him. And he's going to keep as close as he can. As I said, like a shadow, he's not seeming to be struggling with tyre grip. And I wonder if Mesa is on the softs. It looks like he pitted earlier for mediums. And he's now going to come in again. Dugster is now coming out on... What is he coming out on? I can't quite see. Looks like he is going to come out on the white wall tyres, the hard compound. And he's going to try and go long to try and catch up as much as he can. If there's a safety car, he's probably made a bit of a bad decision. But I think he should have prepared for that. Because it looks like he's not going to be able to get back there very soon. And now Zakus has fallen out of the DRS of Chrisu. Oh dear. Let's hope he can get back up there. Maybe we do need a safety car now to catch everyone back up with each other. Maybe Mesa is even going to get lapped by the person he was challenging for first place earlier. Nope. Anyone else really warm right now all of a sudden? What? And look, Mesa even warming up these hard tyres. Again, trying to get back up as much as they can. I love your enthusiasm, Muffin Man. Yeah, very enthusiastic supporter. But that's what I like to see. You know, start taking sides. It's all about the competition here in racing. But yeah, Crazy Benny is less than a sector behind lapping Mesa. And it doesn't help that Mesa is warming up the tyres after a second pit stop already before the halfway point. We're at lap 11 of 26. Excuse me. And it looks like Mesa's driving fairly well as now CB comes out of the pits onto the white wall compound as well. It looks like maybe people are going to start needing to go onto the harder tyre to maintain strategy. Because who knows, Chrisu could be overtaken by Zakus through strategy here. And it looks like although Chrisu hasn't got any penalties, you know, you don't know about that. And maybe Zakus is trying to put in the best in-lap he can. as he's now coming around Maggots and Beckett's, and he's going to get a good exit onto the main straight. Yes, he is. I think he should keep going because he looks like he's still going very well. Maybe he could even go even longer and go onto the softs or something. I don't know. Oh, it's really difficult to tell though. And now Crazy Benny is going to come into the pits. Let's see what compound he's going to come onto. It's probably going to be the hards, and so does Chrisu. And it looks like Lucha is going to overtake Zacus as he comes into the pit. And Lucha is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix as he tries to go long on these mediums than everyone else. CB and Dougster and Mesa have already pitted, so Lucha is going to pull quite the gap from these guys here. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 1-2 so far. The first time it's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, and now it's no longer a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo. But Crazy Benny's going to come out, and I believe he was on what? Is he going to come out on the hards? I can't see Crazy Benny, and it looks like he's come out on the hards as well, going over the white line just a little bit. Let's take a look at penalties real quick, because I actually don't know who's got the most penalties. Everyone has got 3-second penalties, except Lucha, Chrisu, and CB. So it looks like here, the cleanest drivers are the Alfa Romeos and Red Bull. So, really good. Let's take a look at the tyre. It looks like Lucha has been really dragging out these mediums, and he's made up 5 positions. This would be an absolute epic victory if he makes it. And remember, you want to make as little pit stops as you can here around Silverstone, because they've got really long pit lane. So yeah, I like the underground pit stops. Yeah, Abu Dhabi, really iconic. Remember to join us in 2 races time when we will be at Abu Dhabi for the finale. By then though, it might be the case that Vlad Red will have won the championship, but who knows, CB could win it as well. Although he's not showing great results here today, he's going to make up about 10 points in the championship, which is decent, but you know, could be better. It looks like Dougster is catching slowly but surely back up. But he is making more penalties, as now Lucha is going to come in. Let's see if going that one extra lap has paid off. It looks like Crazy Benny is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix once more. I wonder if the gap was 4 seconds earlier, what will it be now? Because Lucha is now making their pit stop, as now Crazy Benny is going to start making his way onto the main straight, and now out into turn 1. Looks like Crazy Benny, he's going to just be very close with Lucha. And he's now ahead into turn 1. It looks like Lucha did make an alright strategy. What will happen with Chrisu though, as now he takes P2. And Lucha is in P3 ahead of Zacus still. And he's done a very good job, because Zacus is about 3.5 seconds behind him. So really good strategy call there. As now someone's causing yellow flags. And it looks like it's Mesa once again, getting even more. Losing it, and oh, I don't know what to say really. He's a pit stop behind the person ahead of him. Oh dear, not a great race here for Mason. Maybe a bit demoralising that his teammate's not here to join him. Oh dear. But yeah, so Crazy Benny still leads, and he leads by more actually. So maybe what Chrisu did was better against Lucha, but worse against Crazy Benny, because Crazy Benny does worse tyre conservation than Chrisu, but it's even better than Lucha. I don't know how to explain it. Pretty much, Crazy Benny has realised that his is not the best, and as Mesa spins around, his is not the best of tyre conservation, so he's come in earlier and done a really good outlap. But Chrisu's really good with his tyre conservation and managed to go an extra lap forward, and is therefore really made up a lot of time on Zacus. Although Zacus is now catching all the way back up, as he's got more warmed up tyres. Ferrari on hards. We sure do love Ferrari strategy. Well said, guys. Well said. We've got 9 viewers here, which is a really nice result. And looks like Zacus is now caught up to the DRS on the main straight, although you don't get DRS for that. And we've got a 3-way battle for the podium places. Very interesting here. CB very close to Zacus. So it looks like he's done a very good strategy as well to catch her up all that way. Yeah, so into now turn 3. CB's going to look like he's not really liking these compound tyres, and as I say that, there he is. Zach catching up, you're right, he is. Let's take a look down the front straight. He's definitely making up a lot of time via slipstream, and oh, look how consistent he is. Consistently getting great corners, and he's not making any mistakes as of yet. So hopefully no commentator's curse there, but he takes a lot of curb there to try and maximise his acceleration. here. And look, he takes a little bit of inside line, but not too much. He wants to get as close as he can on the straights to Lucha because he knows he's going to have the advantage of Maggots and Beckett's. And look, he's able to accelerate all the way through Cops and into Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to take quite a bit of curb, even the sausage curb. And he nearly drifts out of the circuit there. But look what a great exit he's going to get compared to Lucha. And he's maybe going to spoil Alfa Romeo's day. And he's going to take the double podium from them. Let's see what he can do. As you can see the ominous Red Bull in the background there. There he's trying to take it. And with DRS he's able to catch up just a bit more. But into the chicane, look how much of the track he's using up. He's really making the use of it. James, do you race? I can tell you actually James does race. I am actually his race engineer. So, you know, I don't think I should promote the other league, you know, on this league's channel because we're competitors, I guess. But, yeah, James I'm sure will tell you. So, yeah, make sure to catch James and hopefully I do good strategies as well. But, yeah, so CB, as you can see, really close to Zaku's in the McLaren, and he's going to try and get a bit of a switchback, a really much better exit, and it doesn't really work because he takes too long and he's changed his mind too quickly. So, down the main straight, let's take a look at Zaku's. He's going to go and, oh, he's still not quite fully caught up to the Alfa Romeo, who's done an excellent job at defence. Minister of Defence here, of Britain, looks like Ben Wallace. Anyway, Lucha really trying to defend for their life. They don't want to lose this podium because it would be a really great thing for the team. And I remember Lucha's podiums are always very memorable, especially like when he was at Haas in Season 2. He definitely was very consistent with that. Qualifying highly and maintaining podiums, he managed to keep them very high in the constructors, and you know, that's an excellent effort. And he's trying to go for the exact same thing here again. And now onto the main straight, the back straight, sorry. And Zaku's is going to get DRS, but CB is going to try and make a move on him now as he waves past him, and yeah, upsets the British driver's day. Is now that's not Mesa, not Dopestar. Who is it? As Zaku's goes a little bit wide. CB. Who is that? Was it Chrisu? It looks like Chrisu was involved in a little incident there. And CB's going to take the lead. Oh, yeah. Take P2, sorry. So now P2 has gone down to P5. And they're 4.5 seconds behind Zaku's. Not great there. But now it's a battle for P2 rather than P3. But more people get a podium. So maybe they're not going to fight as hard. Maybe they're going to fight even harder. Really unfortunate there for Chrissy, though. Although they're already on the catch-up game to try and catch up to these guys who are battling so hard. CB, though, very, very close to Lucha. Let's see what he can do down this straight with the hard tyres. You can visibly see he's getting a lot closer, but struggling a bit with the dirty air. And now, is he going to try and make a move around the outside as he sets a purple sector 1? He's not, but he's going to try and get a really good exit. Now, the defending champion, he's going to go and take a very, very big amount of the inside line to try and maximise the corner's timing. And into the Cops corner, he's going to take even more curb, as Lucha seems to be struggling with it a bit more. And into Maggots and Beckett's, I think he's not going to be as good here as Lucha. And yeah, as you can see, he goes a bit wide, but he's going to hopefully get a really good exit onto this back straight. And yes, he does, as Chrisu now gets another penalty. So it looks like Lucha is the only person without penalties, and Crazy Benny's pulled nearly half a pit stop too. From Lucha. Has he lapped Mesa yet? It looks like he's going to very, very soon. CB, though, still very close into this final chicane here in lap 17, and he's going to try and take the lead on the main straight, I'm assuming. Zaku's is still in the DRS, though, so it's not over for Zaku's. Yeah, James does race. So anyway, yeah, CB in the curb, on the curb a lot. I could not race, I just focused on the moving shadows. Yeah, so look, oh guys, Mesa gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits even more. And it looks like, oh no, definitely spinning out a lot. So I recommend Mesa just try to get to the end of the race to just take home these points for Ferrari. And yeah, hopefully no incidents here. Because CB is going to be very, very close round here. Let's see what he can do. Now onto the old pit straight. And he's going to go into the slipstream. Is he using ERS? Let's take a wild old look. And we don't need to know the position change at the moment. But look, he's very, very close. And he's not very high on the ERS side of things. Lucha are much the same. Zaku's really just trying to keep up with them at all. But he's out of the DRS. looks like he's going to have to settle for P4 out of the podium positions. But CB, there he is with the DRS. Always a bit of porpoising down that straight there. Very interesting there. But now all goes a bit wide. Hopefully no penalties. Oh, lucky. But now into the final chicane. He's going to take quite a bit of curb. He's trying to make up every little bit of time on Lucha for P2. He needs these points if he's going to have a chance challenging Vlad Red for the title. Oh my, I hope Mace is okay. Not his day. Yeah, looks like Mace has not exactly had a perfect day here at Silverstone. Been lapped, and he was originally in the lead. But now there's Crazy Benny, and he's leading by quite a lot. Lucha seems to be catching up a bit though. Really, really interesting. CB there though. Gonna get DRS onto the front straight. Yo, how's it been? Jack, welcome back. Zakus, as you can see in P4. Yeah, so we're currently watching Crazy Benny, the old spinster, getting really good results here, and he might even finish in P1. But, you know, never say never. We're still 8 laps away from the lead. And look, CB seems to be struggling for grip on these really hard compounds. Hello, Jack. Yeah, Muffin Man, I'm sure you know Jack. Probably one of Zach's friends. But yeah, CB now into Maggots and Beckett's is going to try and make up as much time as he can, but he's still 7/10 off. So it looks like slowly but surely he's losing a lot of time. Keeps on going wide at Beckett's there. Now he's going to try and get DRS, good exit, and he does get a very good exit there with the slipstream. Is he going to use any ERS? It looks like Lucha Ridge's used a bit more than he has. So maybe he's saving that ERS for when he gets really close, because he was relying on the fact that DRS will pull him forward. And look, Lucha Ridge even taking a bit too much curb there. So CB there is going to go and will get a okay entry into the final corner. There he is. And now onto the main straight. There he goes. And he's half a second behind, using as much ERS as he can to try and catch up into Sector 1. And Lucha is still at about 19% battery. CB, let's take a look at this battle though still. What's going on? Hola. Portuguese? Mate, that's Spanish. Portuguese, we don't use an H in Portuguese for hola. Oh, and look, CB here is going to get a really good dose of DRS as he sets a purple Sector 1. Very, very close to the Alfa Romeo. Is he going to try and go around the outside just yet? No, he isn't. But he's going to get a very good exit. And looks like it's going to be a moment of a bit of a through goes Hamilton. Espanol. Yeah, I know, man. And there he is. So close into Cops. And look, they're trying to break the slipstream from each other. And he's going to get a much better exit than Lucha into this next part of the track. And he's going to now be able to save his ERS for the straight. And there he is, getting the slipstream, trying not to get the dirty air. He's going a bit too wide at that corner. I don't know why he thinks he needs to go that wide. But he's going to get a brilliant exit there. DRS. Come on, use some of that ERS. You're so close, mate. Lucha saving some of that ERS as well. Why isn't he using it? He needs to use more ERS. Is he going to send one down the inside? No, he isn't just yet. He's just playing the patient game. So maybe he knows that if Lucha is pressured enough, they're going to wear their tyres out much faster than CB. So yeah, now onto the main straight for lap 20 with 6 laps left. Let's see what he can do, as he's still very, very close. And he might try and go for it now. Look, using a bit of ERS for a better exit down there. And there's Lucha still saving quite a bit. And now getting all over the curbs. He's really trying to make up as much time as he possibly can. Sukablat. Sorry. Yeah, a bit of Russian there. Yeah. Excuse me. Who said that? I think we got a bit of interference from elsewhere. But yeah, CB now down this front straight, and he's going to try and make up as much time again to Lucha. This seems to be one of his strongest places, much like Zakus, who's been very consistent around here, although Zakus has lost a lot of time to CB at this point, 3 and a bit seconds. Looks like he's closer to Chrissy at this point, who's been making a brilliant effort to try and come back. I reckon he can still get P4. What do you guys think? Maybe he doesn't have enough time, who knows. But I'm now into Cops. He's going to get a brilliant exit for Maggots and Beckett as usual, and now taking as much curb as he needs to, going really quite wide there, but maybe he just wants to ensure a really good exit onto the main straight. There he goes, and look, taking all the curb, almost going on the grass, and he's going to try and do what he can. Lucha there trying to pull away, and CB, he takes a peek down the inside, but he knows that he can't do it just yet, and he's got much more grip around this corner here, taking a far tighter line. Didn't expect the commentator to aggressively say that in Russian today. Yeah, well, I think I can get away with it, to be honest. I don't know what that in Russian is, and I think maybe I shouldn't speak any more Russian for today. Yeah, sorry, you put it in the chat, and I'm obliged to read the chat as a commentator. So, really, it's your fault, yeah. No, but CB now a bit closer to Lucha, only 4/10 behind at this point in time. Let's take a look, though. He's going to get a really good exit. Oh, not quite. He's losing grip a little bit. Been really working these tyres, while Lucha has possibly been massaging them, like Sebastian Vettel says about Lewis Hamilton. But now, into this next corner, as you can see, they are very, very close, and very closely matched drivers. If we're now going to get rid of the telemetry because I want a better view, he's going to be very close to try and get a good exit onto this next straight. And we're going to keep looking at the POV. He called me an alcoholic in Russian. Well, that's not very nice. James, don't you start getting involved in this as well. All I know from this is that "eto" means "this is" in Russian. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so now into Maggots and Beckett's. As you can see, CB definitely making up time in the corners on Lucha, but apparently didn't get a very good exit onto the main straight. Oh, but there he is in the slipstream, and he's making up brilliant time there. You can see just how much he's catching up, and maybe he's going to try and go for a move very, very soon. And look how close he is. It's almost nose to tail, and maybe he's going to send one down the inside. Not just yet, but he's keeping very close. Oh, takes a bit of a wider entry there, try and get the best exit possible. And there he goes. He's going to get a bit of a wider entry onto the straight as well, trying to accelerate as much as he can. And there, look how close he is now. While he's already speaking foreign languages, we need to return to English. Claro que não, não precisa isso. Anyway, CB now is, looks like another yellow flag. Let's take a look. And it is Mesa once again, now on the grass. Oh dear. Not really enjoying this race is Mesa. And they're going to come into the pits, are they? Yes, they are. Not great stuff there. And CB's now on the straight, and is he going to send one down the inside? Yes, he is. And the crowd goes wild, and CB is going to get very close and now have to concede from the outside. Is he going to get a slingshot effect? Oh, it looks like he might, and he's side by side with Lucha. Oh, and he's back into the slipstream. He's been shut the door on, and there he is, trying to get as good of a way of overtaking him as he can, but he's really struggling. But he's going to get a really good exit here because he knows that's Lucha's weaknesses. And oh, this is so close. What does knack mean? I don't know. Knack means and CB spins out because he's way too close, and he gets the dirty air, and it looks like Zakus is now going to have an opportunity to take the podium places once more. Oh my. Knack means you've got a favour, or you prefer something, you enjoy something. Like a knack to relax, sipping, relaxing my mind, sipping that red wine, you know. Crazy Benny still leads by a considerable amount, as now Chrisu is still very close to Zakus, and he's caught up a mighty amount. It might still look like a double podium for the Alfa Romeos, just a bit more separated. And look how much he's having to really steer through that corner, losing grip a bit. Will Chrisu be able to make it back into the podium places? Excuse me, I'm really having dry throat today. So yeah, there is Chrisu. Right behind the McLaren. Oh, it's so close. And Chrisu is now within 7/10, and he's going to have DRS down this straight here, as you can see. As it's now going to shut, give him a bit more downforce than he really ought to have on a straight. So yeah, it's going to take away some of the downforce, but to increase his top speed and acceleration. But now, down here, you don't get DRS. You're just going to have to manage with your ERS. And there Chrisu is catching slowly to Zakus. Let's see how good his defense mode is. And you can see he's harvesting. Let's take a look at Chrisu's telemetry. Is he harvesting as well? Looks like he is indeed. So it's going to be really difficult here. But he's going to get DRS, and he's going to use some ERS as well down the straight. As you can see, he's not using it yet because he's not got much of it, and he's gotten very close to Zakus, who's positioned the car very well on the racing line so that it doesn't get used. And Chrisu there getting a bit of oversteer, having to correct, but he's a much later braker than Zakus. And look how much he's getting a good exit, and he's getting so close that he's having to back off even a little bit. And there you go. He's losing a bit of time on the straight as a result of that, but he's get back in the slipstream and into turn 1. He's not going to suffer for any dirty air because he's going to get the slipstream, taking the best racing line. And there he goes into turn 1, even closer. He's a better lip breaker than Zakus. It might be a double podium for Alfa Romeo here. Really good result. I wonder if they're going to be able to move up in the championship. And there he is, down the straight. DRS, ERS. Is he using ERS? Not quite yet, but he's super close to Zakus, playing him at his own game, giving him a taste of his own medicine. And Zakus is thinking, oh no, I'm going to be overtaken here. I'm going to have to do the best defence I possibly can for my country. You know, Chrissy though, here he goes. And it looks like Zakus has gone a bit wide and now into Cops. Chrissy's going to have to try and profit off of Zakus. But it looks like Zakus does have a better setup for Cops' corner. Now into Maggots and Beckett's though. Here Chrissy goes, and he's made up a mighty amount of time already. Like he's getting a slipstream in the corners. And though he does break a bit later and gets a worse exit, look at him there. He's making up time on the straight. He's going to have DRS on the back of that. Are we back? I believe we are back. So, sorry about that everyone. Disconnected, but we are still back in time for the final lap. So, wait, hold on. I'm just saying sorry for disconnecting. That's my fault. Wi-Fi's bad. So anyway, yeah, we're now back in the stream. Come on, we need to get back just in time. And now Crazy Benny, let's take a look at him though. He's just started the final lap. There's the predicted pit stop strategy. Don't know why we're looking at that. If we take a look now at the interval, yeah, there it is. Full track map, yep. So as you can see, Chrisu is still very close to Zakus, but is he going to make a last lap move? Looks like he isn't just yet. I wonder if he even can, as Crazy Benny's now halfway through the lap ahead of everyone. And Lucha very solidly in P2. We're back now though, so hopefully we can just get a glimpse, see if we do get any last lap overtakes. And it looks like the only opportunity for one is between 5 and 6 and 3 and 4. So let's see, will Zakus keep his podium? It looks like he might have to suffer from a Hail Mary dive bomb from Chrisu maybe. I'm sure he wouldn't be that dangerous. But look into this next corner, and he gets a much better exit than Zakus. Is he going to go side by side into Maggots and Beckett's? Or he might just do such a thing. And look, Crazy Benny gets a 3-second time penalty again. I think he's still going to keep P1 though. He's going to come round, and look, it's a last lap overtake from Chrisu. And no, he's hit Zakus a little bit as Crazy Benny comes home to win the British Grand Prix. Well done, Crazy Benny. I know you're Irish, but this is probably the closest thing you have to a home Grand Prix, however much you don't want to admit it. But look, what a brilliant day today for Crazy Benny, winning, I believe, his first Grand Prix, as now Zakus is down in P4 and has to accept that he's not going to get a podium today. Oh dear, sad day for Zakus, but he still gets those vital points from McLaren, and it's a double podium for Alfa Romeo. CB though, still in P5 as he porpoises down the straight. Dugster shortly behind, and Mesa is going to have to really wait. Wow, what a race though, guys. Even though we only had 7 people, was really quite interesting. I mean, this is probably more interesting than Mexico when we had only 14 people. And even though we only had half the people here, you know, still a brilliant race as CB now comes home, wins for the Milton Keynes team. Alpine here, getting P6, and looks like Mesa's going to shortly come home for P7 if we just admire the Ferrari. He's going to take home 6 points for Ferrari. Hopefully get them closer to Williams and McLaren in the championship battle for constructors. And he's going to come around now to be the last driver to finish the Silverstone Grand Prix a lap down, unfortunately. But there we go, everyone. What a Silverstone Grand Prix! Wow. Really interesting there. And Crazy Benny wins, but Lucha is, according to the game, driver of the day for getting up into P2 from P6. So to be fair, really good. I think this race was all about the start, because you saw how much everyone started after the first 6 laps or so. So wow, really good race though. And now we're going to go see the podium sequence with Crazy Benny on top, followed by Lucha, followed by the other Alfa Romeo Chrissy, then Lucha, and there Crazy Benny comes in the AlphaTauri team. Very stylish as well, and he drives his way to the podium, surrounded by the other team, and there they are, the two Alphas on the podium. What a beautiful day for Crazy Benny, winning his Grand Prix here. I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy that he's shown his potential now, and hopefully he can challenge next season as a contender. Brilliant stuff for AlphaTauri. And there are the beautiful cars down there of the three podium sitters. The two of the Finnish drivers, around the Irishman. And there he is, silencing us because he's done such a great job. Oh, what a great thing there. If we just take a look at some incidents. Lots of track limits here, especially from Dugster. 26 incidents involved from 6 drivers. About 4 on average per driver. 4.5. Anyway, yeah, pit stops. It looks like Mesa had quite a few pit stops there. About 3 of them. Yeah, CB had 2 as well though, remember that. But yeah, Crazy Benny managed to take the 1 stop home and it worked. So yeah, if we take a look at the standings, that looks like Crazy Benny is going to jump from P10 to... I'm just figuring it out in my head. He's going to jump to around P6 or P7. So really good job there from Crazy Benny. And that's obviously going to take AlphaTauri up a little bit closer to Haas. Red Bull, of course, are going to not overtake Alfa Romeo. Sorry, they're going to lose a bit of time, a little bit of points to Alfa Romeo. McLaren are going to extend their lead over Williams, and Ferrari are going to catch a little bit up to Williams as well, but not really by that much. Although Alfa Romeo are definitely going to catch up a lot. Excuse me, to Ferrari. Hopefully no more penalty points will happen. But this has been the Silverstone Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed it. Great British Grand Prix. I certainly enjoyed it. And remember to join us next time for my 2nd consecutive home Grand Prix, because I'm half British, half Brazilian. So British, and also we'll have a sprint race next round. So that should even make things even more interesting. Hopefully we'll have a full grid by then. Really great stuff there, as you can see, the Union Jack. Beautiful, beautiful. Crazy Benny has been our winner today. Really amazing. And yeah, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. It's been Toby.